Hey everybody, welcome to another video. This is Violet Memoir Part 2, and it's literally, it is 3:47 p.m. on the 18th of February 2023. I just got done talking to my friend, my really good friend over in California. I like him, he's a good guy. Anyway, so let's just get into this. Load. There it is. So last video, we left off with him waking up from that, Echo-esque dream where I made the Lake Emma joke. So now we're back into this universe. Relatively quiet alert echoes loudly, ripping apart the peaceful silence as I'm jolted awake. My eyes burn as I try to figure out what's going on. That's, Between my head pounding and bile in my throat, it takes me nearly a minute to compose myself. Oh boy. Loud groan croaks from my throat as I fumble about, trying to locate my phone. What time is it? My voice sounds hoarse, like I haven't drunk anything in years, so my entire mouth is filled with cotton. Locating my phone, it shows I've only been asleep for an hour and a half. No wonder I'm feeling awful. Naps always make me feel like trash. Oof. That's a mess. That's a royal mess. The only notifications I've gotten are 2 emails. The first is just the promised contact info, the rest of my media group, while the other is from a name I barely recognize. Sender Lily Rose. Subject Meetup. Consider just going back to sleep and reading it later, but the silhouette of the drawer on their bed reminds me I still have to put my pants away. Sitting up, I hear a little click, so I stretch my back. My bad sleep posture makes this a common occurrence, but the sound never fails to make my skin crawl. I would imagine hearing your fucking spine make noises isn't... I would imagine that's not exactly a very comforting experience. Oh jeez, Matthew is awake. Well, obviously he's awake, he's just over in New Orleans for Mardi Gras, apparently. Oh boy. I read that? Yeah, I think I did. Blinking away the rest of my eyes from my sleep, Jesus. Blinking away the last of the sleep from my eyes, I open up the email. The brightness makes reading it with my bleary eyes difficult. Hey, my name is Lily. I'm in the same media class as you guys. I just wanted to let you guys know that I want to do a little get-together tomorrow. Oh god, this person sounds absolutely insufferable already. So we can do some introduction or you can start on our project a bit. Wouldn't that be pretty cool? Thinking we could meet up at the school library near Edmond Hall around lunch. We can hang then. Maybe get some food, yak nat. What? Oh, you know. Maybe spell things right. Maybe put a space there, so I understand. It looked like yak now. Setting the stall use, so if it conflicts with any of your schedule, let me know, and I'll change the time. Tell me or not. We don't want to do it on such short notice. Ew, I don't know you. Don't fucking do that. It's disgusting. What the fuck? Man. That's a picture. Okay, whatever. It takes me a minute to remember the name. Right, Lily Rose. She's in my group. Me and her and the others is probably a good idea. Know where Edmond Hall is, thankfully. I have my biology class there. Really check my schedule on my phone. I only have one class on Tuesday. It's my same biology class. Okay, cool. Be a tight fit, but the lecture closes 11:45, so it should be fine. That out of the way, the only thing left to deal with is putting the rest of my luggage away. I'm interested to see what the, like, inciting incident here is gonna be, because So far, it's just been really cliche and generic first day at a new school, or in this case, university type VN. So what's gonna separate this? I'm pretty sure there's a murder mystery, but I don't remember because I literally only played the first update. So that out of the way, the only thing left to deal with is putting the matter of that. Hoisting myself off the bed, I get to work organizing my pants and the rest of my bed. Geez, cool. This is a lot of stuff that seems really unnecessary. Never been partial to cleaning, but organizing my room has always been a good way to calm down. That's a mood. Now that everything's done, I realize how empty this room is. I'm used to not having many friends without my parents in the house as well. It feels like it's missing something. It's small, but a twinge of sadness starts to flow through me. Bing. Oh boy. My phone startles me out of my melancholy. I'm expecting it to be Lily again, telling me someone couldn't make it, but I see a text message from someone else instead. It's from Lucas. Yay! It's him. It's the good boy. It is the good boy. It is definitely the good boy. I like him. I I hear things, and that can't be the music of the game because I have it turned off. Well, my headphones don't have sound going through them. Because otherwise, I would be blowing my ears off with how loud they are. I don't know if you saw, but it looks like we're at meeting tomorrow. Lily sent us an email to me in the library. Lily tapped out a response to my touchscreen, my claws making a satisfying tapping sound. That's interesting. Gonna be alright. I know you weren't a fan of being there earlier. That's just the school itself. This is a public library, even if it is mainly used by university students. But it's on campus. I don't mind the campus, just the buildings. Yeah, that sounds like social anxiety for sure. It's just seeing how selective it can be. If you're sure. I am. Trust me, I'll be fine. Thank you for caring, though. It means a lot. Somewhat gratifying meeting someone who texts as formally as I. Indeed! Indeed. This is definitely. Yeah. I'm just not comfortable using text speak. Thankfully, Lucas looks like just as much of a stick in the butt as I am. Pretty much, yeah. To be fair, his comment about a modern handshake should have clued me in. It's good then. Looks like we'll be able to meet the rest of our group. I still wish I wasn't in this group. I just want to stay in my room. Seem like you enjoyed the company today? Doesn't mean I want to get together and do classwork. Anyway, I'm free all of tomorrow. Do you want to head there together? Yeah, got a class before it. Need to head there right after it finishes. Do you want me to meet you over there? I'll be fine. Are you sure you'll you even be fine doing that? Probably not. I just feel like I owe you. Well, don't. I just did what any decent person should. Yeah, sorry. Suddenly sends another message before I have a chance to even respond to the previous one. There isn't much I can say to that. I really hope he's gonna be alright. He looked really messed up today. Oh boy. Oh, jeez. I didn't even realize. I kind of forgot that I was doing a video for a second. Jesus. I don't know how long that lasted, but I'm sorry. Um, really hope he's gonna be alright. He looked really messed up today. Shit, my room made me some food. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks again. See you, man. Need to get something to eat too. We'll meet up at the library. Chinese place down the. That should be capitalized. Chinese place down the road should still be open. I'll get something from there tonight. Don't have any groceries to cook anything in the shared kitchen anyway. When I return, take out food in hand, my eyes immediately fall into the diary. Still exactly where I left it, tossed haphazardly onto the desk at the end of my bed. Can't exactly return it, so I guess it couldn't hurt to read it. Forbidden knowledge, that's... I doubt that's actually gonna be what this is, but, like, it's giving me those vibes of, like, oh, don't read this, you'll go insane. You don't want to go insane, do you? Plus, I might be able to figure out who the diary belongs to. Take a seat in the barely cushioned chair, trying to ignore the guilt in my chest. At least they have a gap in the back for tails. Making sure the diary isn't in the splash range, I eat some of my sweet and sour chicken. I'd be horrified if I returned a diary covered in food stains. Satisfied, I open up the diary and find a frustrating surprise. On the inside of the cover, written in large font, property of Helena Lawson. Please call 202-555-0106 to return. Yeah, you probably should have opened it to find that. Most people put that shit in like the front of their diaries, so like I'm staring at from attorney before it finally registers. Seriously? Embarrassment and anger rise in my chest as I feel extremely stupid for trying to pry information out of the receptionist instead of just checking inside the diary. Well, at least you're self-aware of your idiocy. You know, at least you're self-aware. Most people, a lot of these like VN protagonists wouldn't be like that. They'd just be like, it's only 8:21 p.m. Surely they wouldn't be asleep yet. I don't know. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. You'd be really surprised. Oh boy, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. Jesus Christ, that's like a day. That's insane. That is... No, But like, yeah, sorry. God, I keep getting distracted. I'm fucking stupid. Trying to ignore the apprehensive feeling whispered in my ear, I dialed the number. Do I just tell her I was snooping through her diary? Surely she should understand if it's to return it, right? There's doubts. There's creeping doubts. But instead of any of the options I'm expecting, a second surprise awaits me. Sorry, but the phone you've called is no longer active. If this is your number, please call cut. I cut the pre-recorded message out before releasing a large sigh. Oh, it might as well have been a groan. toss my phone under my bed, close the book, and decide to deal with it tomorrow. Really grab my laptop, I start a movie and grab my food, ready to settle in for the night. Oh boy, movie night. Yeah, that's totally a good idea. When you have fucking school the next day, Jesus. Rushing out of Edmond Hall, I rush through the busy crowds of students leaving their classes. Biology took a little bit longer to finish than I expected. It's only 5 minutes past our meetup time, but it leaves a bad impression if I'm late to the first meeting, even with running the rest of the way. It takes a couple minutes to reach the library and I'm covered in sweat. Don't even want to know what I smell like. Curse my muscular heritage. Oh boy, yeah, there's that again. It's really interesting. Like, one of the first games I played had an otter protagonist chase, and now this is the thing. It's just weird. What's that? Oh boy. I really should have let Lucas come get me. If both of us were late, it wouldn't be so awkward. I mean... Library is a lot bigger than expected. It is 3 stories and students... 3 stories! When can I go? That's a lot of books. I would kill. 3 stories and students are flowing constantly in and out of the building. Standing next to the door is a familiar fox. God, again with the fucking Tagami pose. Good grief. Like, he's really cute and I like him, but Jesus. Ugh. I approach him, he gets side of me and wanders over. His aloof demeanor reminded me when I first saw him. Wearing a very similar outfit to yesterday, a dress shirt and tie, this time without the vest. Fur looks considerably cleaner and his eyes aren't mad like yesterday. Their auburn color stands out like a lighthouse in the sea dark. That's a good metaphor. I like that. Saying he looks better is an understatement. It's like looking at a completely different person. Entire body admiring him too. He's very handsome. Oh boy, we have you fucking moron. We have books. Is the proper term for it. Cold aloofness melts slightly when the gap between us closes, and it's like his entire body explodes with motion, from his ears twitching to his tail flicking about. This literally, like, obviously minus the fucking animal stuff, but like, this is me in like real life when friends are nearby, people I know are nearby. I just get so much more animated. It's like, I hate how this dude. Most importantly, his eyes are burning like an inferno. Their warmth spreading the rest of his body. Stop in front of you. Stop in front of each other, but not a word is said as I continue to stare into his eyes, only being able to catch the light of his eyes reddening from the attention in my peripheral vision. Jeez, stop. I mean, Jesus, dude, stop staring. Damn, I'm starting to get nervous. I have to break the eyes before it gets too awkward. Were you waiting out here for me? And to get away from the others. Is there some kind of problem? I'm confused on the protagonist species. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I just... Oh no. Both of them. This is really cute, I guess. Not really, they're fine. It's more with me. I just don't think we mesh well. At least they don't with me. I'm sure get used to them. Should we head in? I hope you're right. I'm sure it's a bit confusing there, so follow me. Lucas wasn't kidding when he said the place was confusing. The first floor is filled with students, but apparently there aren't any study tables down there at all. It's just for books and checking them out. Second floor is a bunch of tables set up for university students to use. Even though it's a public library, only students are allowed up there. There are human people in this image. That's a bit of a mistake. This library looks fucking cool though. Upon reaching the second floor, I'm overwhelmed by just how many students there are. I literally can only see like maybe 5 at most. There's gotta be at least 20 tables and almost all of them are occupied. That's not what I see. Really grateful to have Lucas here with me. Otherwise, I might have wasted time trying to find my group. Find a bunch of strangers is no easy task. When I get close to the table, though, I recognize 2 of the figures. Oh my god, why the fuck? I hate this dude. First, a certain otter leaned forward on the table with some rather shocked-looking eyes as he stares at me. His astonishment doesn't last long, and it gives me a bright smile that searches from ear to ear. He's really the happy-go-lucky type. Yeah, he's just terrible. I don't like this character. Wearing a different outfit this time. Instead of his lax button-up shirt, he's now wearing a gaudy green tank top. Yeah, you literally shown that with the fucking sprite. You don't need to explain it. Pretty stark difference to the type of clothes he had worn to class yesterday. And here's the boy. I was waiting for him to show up. God. Wow. The second and honestly more unexpected of our little group is the possum leaning back on his chair. He's still clad in that same leather jacket. He's leaning back on his chair, allowing me to see his ripped up jeans. Wonder if they're genuinely ripped or it's just a stylistic choice. I'm honestly scared to ask. He's looking much more surprised than the others, though there's some concern mixed into his eyes. Lucas sits down next to the otter, refusing to look at anyone at the table. I have the feeling that Lucas is the one who doesn't mesh with them, not the other way around. There's a palpable coolness between him and the rest of the group. The way the possum is staring at me catches my attention. There's concern in his gaze as he looks me over with a furrowed brow. Jesus, kid, you look like shit. And you look like you crawled out of a dumpster from a trailer park, so I don't think you have room to judge. Possibly. Possum's expression turns to one of confusion at the Vulpine's remark. His attention immediately diverts over to him. A little bit of sadness is spoken to the hard exterior, but mostly just confusion at the sudden attack. By the way, his ears are lowered. I think that comment stung. Jesus, Lucas certainly hasn't mellowed out from yesterday. Yeah, you don't fucking change the entire way you react to people in a single day. Dude, that doesn't work. Actually, might be worse. He's definitely less upset but didn't lash out this day yesterday. That's because there was no one else except for you talking to him. Wonder if being in a group is making him act out. Doesn't process the type used to socializing. Hope he's able to feel more comfortable soon, for everyone's sake. Anyway. Oh my god, she looks like a Karen. I hate her. An unfamiliar woman's voice catches my attention, and I turn to who I can only assume is Lily, stand in front of her chair with her hands clasped in front of her chest. I had completely forgotten she was here. The others are such eccentric characters, they dragged all my attention to them. She's a small canine. Yeah, we get it. She's. You don't need to describe the characters when their sprites are there. She's got a smile. Her smile on her face. Hers feels very maternal and subdued, unlike the otter's boisterous giant grin. Wallace, please take a seat. He gestured into the seat across from her. Seriously, please. There's been a fair bit of bickering. I want to start so we can introduce ourselves. Hopefully they can mellow out. For a split second, I think she's kidding, but despite her genuine smile, there's traces of fatigue scattered across her features. Not enough for me to worry, but enough to see it's a little tiring. Anytime I see wanted to hold her up, or anyone else can say anything else, Lily continues. So you can probably guess I'm Lily Rose. Guess a weird name, no, I'm a friendly florist. Wow, you're not funny. Gives a light chuckle at her own joke. It's a warm laugh that causes my lips to into a grin, so contagious. We've already introduced ourselves while we're waiting, so I'll just introduce you to them. Goes over to her right, towards the out-of-place marsupial. Oh boy. This is at... Sudden glare in her direction forces her to cut herself off, though she brushes it aside with a laugh pretty fast. I mean, this is Lee Scott. Yeah, he's rather quiet from what I can tell. We ran into each other at yesterday's lecture. Almost literally, I might add. Jesus, I hate that dude. Lily is looking at us with an exquisite expression, obviously curious. Looking another... Has his eyes closed, and he's shaking his head, but I can see the corner of his mouth curling up just a little bit. Yeah, I kind of almost tripped over, and he caught me, even saved my laptop. I lift my laptop back for emphasis, trying to ignore the unimpressed looks I know I'm getting. Would have smashed everywhere if it wasn't for him. Also, it wouldn't have smashed if you looked where you were going. All eyes shift toward the Volpine, and he shifts uncomfortably in his seat. He sneers, but is not directed at us, his attention firmly on the table. Sorry. Leon, who has been silent this whole conversation, finally speaks up. Doing alright, kid, not hurting anywhere. It's still a rather hard thump against me. I'm fine, it's not like I smacked on the ground. You really saved me there. Still pretty hard, I had to check. Second, I think he's trying to show off or keep some kind of badass facade, but his face looks serious. I can't tell if that makes me worried or curious. Can I shoot? Who's fucking saying that? Oh, it's the fucking idiot. God, of course it is. It's the fucking moron. Why wouldn't it be? Ugh. Yeah. Yeah. God, no. Happy or embarrassed. Jesus Christ, that's a ridiculous expression. So, yeah, I gotta be sure. Okay, boys, we're getting a little off topic. Even if watching you boys is fun. Now, Lily's wearing an even larger smile than before. It doesn't rival the otters, but she looks happier now that we're getting along better. Well, the guy next to you is... Oscar Castle. Oh boy, that's an idiot. Nearly bends over to me and wraps an arm around my shoulder. Oh! Yeah, exactly. This is why I don't like him. I don't like any person that just randomly does this shit. They're fucking gross. Alright, your name's User and even Food, and it's a cute name. What, you do? Oh my god, he's so fucking... Yeah, I know. Yeah, she kinda called you that a few minutes ago, even lit. Her cut off so I wonder if someone stopped him. Instead, he's looking down at the table with an annoyed expression, his left hand tugging awkwardly at his ear. Don't. No, I think I know why he does that now. And I don't like it one bit. Don't self-harm to... Oh my god. Oh my god, I don't like that. Before I can muster up the start of a response to the fox's strange behavior, Oscar's bouncing and light tugging. Fucking stop, you creep. Jesus, I don't like this guy. I didn't back to him. I ain't on accent. When I accident snap it, when it was. Jesus fucking Christ. What is going on? No, name we even got here. It's not hard to figure out when we have a list of names we met everyone else already. Seems like Warren Epstein was his naturally bubbly personality. He certainly isn't I worry about the details. Yeah, he's an idiot, we get it. I wish I could be like that. No, you don't. One thing that is beginning to worry me is other people in the library are contact bouncing around and got the attention of other people around us. They don't look annoyed, just confused. Oscar, everyone's looking. It's a deep chuckle as does library niggas might shit. Yeah, you're a fucking creep. Jesus Christ. Took me anybody to take an arm off me. Alright, you shouldn't have had it on someone else to begin with, you fucking loser. Don't want to make you uncomfortable. Getting that look you had in front of the lecture hall yesterday. Brother, no, I had been holding this finally released only to be cut off by a quiet gasp as I feel someone touching my tail. Are you fucking... I do not like you. Normally I just assume it's a mistake so that he runs... Fucking creep, ew. Carefully run over and eat him. I step over to Lee and I'm suddenly very aware of how hot my ears are. Possum is easily able to see exactly what the otter was doing. Yeah, being a fucking creepy idiot. I'm fine, I just been embarrassed. Most stuff from onset of an Oscar. He's really looking rather proud of himself. Once again, I'm up from there. Like a tomato, I can eat your touch of your fur. I'm not used to the attention, okay? People don't usually really push me or often affection in public. Go out, effect. Jesus Christ, kill yourself. I wish people would know me less. Always this much of a downer? You sound like someone just killed your pet. Sorry, not all of us have the brains of a peanut and can be as ass full of flashing lights. I love him. Hey, that's a little... I'm cut off this time by Oscar's laughing. Doesn't look upset with what was said at all. He's still got that massive smile on his face. Not wrong, I do love a good light show. I haven't been in the club in ages. He spreads across, looks at his face, instead of breath he's been holding his shoulders sagging as he relaxes enough to be noticeable. I think Oscar's response actually calmed him down a bit. He still looks uncomfortable better when he first came in. Last night was an indication he's not a bad guy, just socially awkward. Lily and Lee are looking at the two of them, a mixture of concern and confusion. Sorry, yesterday was a bit of a rough day and I got a lot of sleep last night. Feeling much better today though. I got a bit of pep talk and it really helped. I'll try not to stab as much anymore. What referring to me, it did seem much better after we chatted last night. I don't mean anything by it. When I insult you, I mean I'm just a bit of an ass and say things I think and... Stop! You keep making this character more and more like me and I hate it. God, you... Jesus. I think they're pretty funny. I don't mind. Wonder for saying he's kind of if he's kidding. But then I remember just how insanely positive he is, and I don't even need to check his face if he's being genuine. Yeah, I've heard worse. Once over the possum with a furrow to his brow, a memory of his crestfallen ears after what the fox said to him earlier is still fresh in my mind. He seems to notice my confused glare and looks back downward with his own confused expression before police sift him back to his calm stoicism. That was more of a shock. It was pretty sudden. I've been called much worse. Face is pretty neutral and hides his feelings well, but I can see the inside of his ears turning a darker shade of pink. Guess when you have such a large ears, you can only hide so much. Got such a scary appearance, but doesn't feel threatening anymore. See someone blush, it's hard to be scared of them as they used to be. Others look pretty confused at that comment, but before they can get back into it, Lily barges back in the conversation. I don't like her. She's a fucking Karen. I thought we were gonna be here all day with the introductions. Last week, our last member, he's... Lucas, yeah, I met him already. We live in the same apartment building as me. He lives in the same apartment building as me. We had it home together. It wasn't that convenient. At least if you guys need to get into contact with someone in the group or need some help, you'll have someone nearby. Yeah, well, it's a big hail. It's a pretty shit day. What happened? I don't feel too comfortable discussing it. Come on, you can tell me. I don't mind. Shut the fuck up, cunt. If someone says they don't want to talk about it, fucking respect that. Jesus. I swear, you have the fucking creep Otter who thinks that touching people out of nowhere is just perfectly fine. And then you have this bitch who's like, oh no, tell me what you're uncomfortable about without fucking thinking of how that makes him feel. Jesus, I don't... Oh my god. Ah, the fucking blush again. He's so cute. No, it's really fine. Please, I promise I'll have a much better talk about it. Not always. Not always, bitch. Not always. God, I don't like her. And I literally just met her a fucking second ago in the game. Oh my god. Lucas looks genuinely uncomfortable, shuffling in his seat and avoiding Lily's gaze at all cost. See? What did I tell you? I'm not sure if it's the attention or the attempts to help, but he's looking at me with pleading eyes. Not really used to being the one asked for help, but I should step in. He did mention he wasn't used to a lot of attention. Hey, let's stop with the interrogation. It's probably not going to help anything. Lily's ears perk up and she pulls back from Lucas, pressing hers down in shame. I say something wrong? No, you said exactly what you needed to say. Looking towards the others for her option, I left out to dry by the lack of a reaction. Lee only looks towards with a raised brow, and Oscar's just happy to be here. You're right, sorry. I was just wanting to help, but I think it made him uncomfortable. Despite looking calmer than moments ago, Lucas shrinks back into his seat with an embarrassed look on his face. Face is so flushed that you can see his cheeks redden even through his dark fur. What an odd duck. He jumps from abrasive to timid at the single inkling of attention. Stop! Stop putting me in the game. It's not fun. It's not good of you. Then he looks towards me with those auburn eyes, burning with relief and gratitude, and of the smile on his lips. You're so beautiful, and I lost them again. Jesus, just kiss already, you fucking... Really cute when you blush, dude. Oh my god, kill yourself. I'm snapped back to reality up through gravity by the shameless comment the otter next to me just sprouted. Maybe you should look like that and less pouty. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god, I hate you. If it was anyone else, I would have assumed they were making fun of him, but there's always this sense of sincerity in his voice. Lucas seems to notice this too, his eyes white as saucers when he sits up straight. Wow, his entire body looks just prickling up ears all the way to his tail. Suddenly the high-strung energy of him shatters as he slams the sound down on the desk loudly, causing Lily and myself to jump. So what's the top for this stupid shit? What? Barrage over the clash, you know the reason we're fucking wasting our time here. You surely didn't forget that already. You're not that dense, right? Getting aggressive again. Looks like he lashes out. What he... Stop! Stop! God! It's a little cute, honestly. Hard to take seriously with that look on his face. All I could do without the massive attention-grabbing commotion. The whole study area got quiet. Everyone's looking at us. Lucas notices too and whips his head around the other table. There's a fiery look in his eyes. What? Oh boy, that's not. That's not good. Lucas shells out to the entire floor. Everyone continues to stare, and I feel myself begin to sweat under their gaze. Like, the fox looks much better after that. His ears are twitching constantly, and his claws are digging into the table. Even Oscar falters about. His smile is shrinking down to just a small, nervous smirk. I don't think things went as planned. Hey, man. I didn't mean anything, but... Where from the fox shuts Oscar out. Wow. I like this dude more and more. Mixture of annoyance and a bit of fear. It's a few seconds of silence. Lucas relents and sits back in his chair, though it looks more like he's trying to crush himself into it. Think about what I said about being able to see his blood before. Now it looks like he's changing the fur color on his muzzle. It's so intense. His ears look like they're painted red on the inside. Wow. Heavy mood weighs down our group. It's hard to know where to even go after that. Maybe we should discuss the project. Everyone turns to him like he's insane. Doesn't falter for a second. How do we do the thing we're supposed to work on? It's been an hour. We've done nothing.
Right, sorry, things just got a bit out of hand.
She sits straighter and her hands are constantly moving as she talks. I don't think her gestures mean anything in particular. She's just very excitable from what I've gathered. Doesn't hurt to be enthusiastic, but in fact, I think her enthusiasm is exactly what we need. So what exactly is this group project on? I said some of us know it, only some of us get the memo, or...
It's on the online guide of the class. Barely anyone checks it though, so he's just going to go over it tomorrow, probably.
I'm getting emails about that. It's not email. There's a student database you log into, which has a bunch of information on your classes. You have classes on as well as your schedule and grades.
Oh, that. I know what information for the classes themselves. Don't worry, most of us are freshmen here, so it's not expected that we'll know much about it.
I'm a senior, ew. Wow, so you're a slacker then. We get it. Cool. Oscar sounds smug and leans back. Cool. The water tails were strong. I didn't think they were this strong. And you're taking a basic first year class. Isn't that kind of sad?
Wait, aren't you a junior? I shouldn't bring it up, though.
I never dealt with general classes, and this one pretty fun. We watch movies and shit, though. God, I hate you. I hate you. We're not in high school anymore. So the subject for the project. He sounds like he's getting actually annoyed at this point. It's not super obvious, but there's a frustrated sigh under his breath.
Right, so this is a class about communication of information through media. We're doing a group project on presenting information about sensitive topics. Wants us to pick a tragic event from last year and do a tasteful presentation of what happened, the effects the media had on the event and its perception by the public, and lastly, how the media could have handled it better.
Ah, yes, because a bunch of college students are totally going to be able to enumerate on what the media could do better. Totally. Jesus. Sounds tedious. Also, should university... Oh my god! I literally fucking... God, okay then. Also, should university students really be judging whether or not the media could have handled the situation better? We're not exactly experienced.
Even professionals completely fail at their jobs sometimes.
That's a little mean, ain't it? Everyone makes mistakes. You don't need to blow up at them, right?
Right, sorry, they came a little harsher than I intended.
Yeah, well, I don't like you in general. I don't like her. Everything seems to make sense so far, though there's one thing I am curious about. Why only from last year?
You mentioned anything older than that is no longer considered sensitive.
What about this year?
Well, he said it would be fit, but it might be a bit tasteless doing it that close to the event. He'd restrict it to having at least some amount of time passed.
Should've just let us do a presentation older events. Surely you can't expect a class of mostly late teenagers to be tactful. Exactly! I love you. God, he's so good. It's just, I'm assuming that's what the Wednesday classes are for, so he can help us out. I guess. Looking over at the fox, he seems rather fidgety. Really fidgety. Not like this day when he looked really upset. He looks really, really nervous. Everything okay? Huh? Oh. Yeah, sorry. I haven't done a group project or presentation for a long time. How long? I love doing group stuff. Presenting not so much. Don't get me wrong, I love the attention, just not the talking about school stuff part. Kill yourself. Group stuff itself is fun. Oh my god, I hate you. Sickeningly cheesy, exactly. It's like, oh my god. How long is a long time? What happens right when they are. No, I'm meaning for Lucas group presentations. Oh. Presented where I might have made her upset, but when I look at her, she had a bit of a smile on her face. She's silently giggling. Grunts over at Lucas, and he's squirming in his seat uncomfortably. Glance over at Lucas, and he's squirming in his seat uncomfortably, trying to avoid looking at any of us. 6 if we don't count this year. Wait, you haven't done one since middle school? Yeah. How? Homeschool for most of high school. Ooh, no, 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 no. I don't like that. I don't like that. That's also me. God damn it. Yeah. What
about the rest of college? Don't exactly sound like a freshman.
I just avoided classes which I had them. But not this one. His deep voice startles me. He's much too quiet for a guy of his presence. Got a rather curious look on his face. It's only now I notice he's got a book in front of him, open and jotting down information for the presentation so far. The only other person with anything is Oscar, and he hasn't touched them since I arrived. No one else has anything with them. Not even Lily organized it. Very dedicated. Can't help but wonder if he and Lucas switched personalities at... Oh, man, that's... Yeah, that's, This was more of a last-minute decision. I just wanted a Gen A class to increase my GPA. I didn't think a media communications class would have a presentation or required attendance. None of my other classes had required attendance.
Yeah, class with group project kind of have to, or else it screws everyone else over, you know?
Lucas deflates and plops down on the table at that, his chin resting on his arms. At least he's calmed down. He's a lot more talkative than I expected. I mean, he was always standoffish, but he gives me the vibe that he wouldn't talk much in a group. Then again, he is only complaining, and he's been doing that from the start. And we're pressuring him. In actuality, I'm just surprised how expressive he is. So what exactly are we doing our project on?
Well, that's what I was hoping we could decide on today. I mean. That might give us a head start for tomorrow.
Do you have any ideas where we'd start here? I'm all for jumping on this, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to be able to help. I'm not much for watching things that would kill my vibe. I hate you. I hate you. I don't like him. God, he's such a terrible character. Yeah, I don't avoid news to that degree, but I will admit I can't remember much from that year. Oh boy. So, I don't know. You said, like, He said, like, that last year was 2019 for them. Look over at Lee, the others join me as well, but he only gives us a shake of his head. Well, there's all the shootings. That are an easy topic. I don't know about that one, bro.
Yeah, that's a little too more with me. With kids, just too sad.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, for more local stuff, there's those German tourist twins who drowned like outside the city. Like Emma, that mother of three who died in the big pile up on the highway. That Lawson? Helena Lawson? Oh shit. Oh, okay, that's the plot twist. That's the inciting incident. Holy shit. That massive scandal with that rich guy, Gregory's son, was found abusing his wife and kids. Oh, a piece of shit. Cool. Something in there catches my attention. I straighten my posture.
That's rather dark. You sure know a lot about this.
My parents would watch the news every single night when I lived with them whenever I wished, whenever I visited. These are just merry ones from the summer break.
Sorry, but what's this about a Lawson girl?
Smart! You're making the connections. Oh my god, other protagonists would take like a fucking hour to piece that together. Oh my gosh. I'm probably exaggerating, but seriously. Don't know, man, even I know about this one.
Yeah, it was pretty big.
I shake my head. I'm not familiar either. The student who was going here for a while just suddenly killed a bunch of her friends. After she got arrested, she killed herself in jail before the night was over. I think I even ran the guy who died at some point. He was on the football team, but he used the gym here instead of the one near the football field. Yeah, it was my sophomore year here. It was all over the news. Palm building got locked down, everyone was questioned. Apparently she lived there. This is a good inciting incident, actually. Holy hell. That definitely makes me feel uneasy. One coincidence was enough, but two is definitely suspicious. Was her name Helena Lawson by any chance? Yeah, did you know her? I think she lived in my room. I found her diary there. Oh, man. Ears perk up. Ears across the table perk up at that. Everyone but Lee is leaning forward with more interest now. Possum just looks more confused at all the excitement.
Seriously, at least would have taken it right for evidence.
Where was it? It was in our nightstand. I guess they didn't check the bottom drawer. How did you find it under the bottom drawer? Smart. Okay, I like him. He has some intelligence in that skull. His eyes keep asking good questions, you know? God, this is what you do with writing of this guy. Fucking, His eyes keep looking between me and the others, likely still confused at their enthusiasm, but he's at least joining the conversation again. I went to put my stuff in and it got stuck. I ended up pulling the whole thing out by accident. Wrecking property on the first day. Maybe you belong in a Ew, no. Eh. Those are terrible. Those are fucking traps. Very out of place for this morbid top, but I think it's just a natural smile, or... Didn't break anything. It went back in fine, but I did find her diary.
Have it on you right now, I mean?
No, it's on my desk. I didn't think I'd need it. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is interesting. I like this. I like this.
Oh no, don't feel bad. I didn't mean you to feel bad. I just thought it'd be cool if you bring it. If you did. If being out on Wednesday seems like the perfect topic for us.
He's so cute. Honestly, like, Wallace is really cute. The main character here. Wouldn't the police want? I don't want to spoil your kids' fun, but isn't that evidence in a murder? Oh my, I hate that. I can call you Smiley if you want. The kids was more for them anyway. He gestures towards Lucas and myself. Fox ignores him and gives a reply to his initial question. They shut the case. They found a motive and all the information they needed, and with her dead, there wasn't much money to collect more. That's a fairly cold way to talk about it. Wait, what? That she's died? She killed 3 people. Artists sympathize. Yeah, exactly. I was thinking that I was gonna say it, but it seemed like I was gonna say that myself, and she fucking guys, great. Or they have sympathy for him. I'd be more likely to sympathize with the dumpster by my apartment. That seems like a pretty silly thing to get an argument over. How about we rest up in this? Looks like we got an idea down, and we might even get a fresh hand account from from someone involved. There's a gloomy look. Oh my god, what was that? Thar. Fucking Christ, what the hell? There's a gloomy look to her and sadness in her eyes. I understand Lucas has no sympathy for her, but she was a person too, wasn't she? I was open to deal longer, didn't really hang out much. Well, I did plan for us to get some food afterwards. That offer is still on the table if you guys want it. Hell yeah, we're all in, let's go. Wait, meathead, you don't get to decide for all of us. Well, are there any objections from the crowd? Oh, I hate you. Oscar doesn't seem willing to wait, though. He's already getting up and stretching, which makes me conscious that I'll been sitting down for too. Fine with me. I got a few hours before my sister will be home from school. Got a sister? Oh boy. Oscar is looking at me expectantly. His deep blue eyes stand out on his fur. They're shimmering with so much excitement, it's infectious. Yeah, sure. I think it'll be fun, right? We all look towards Lucas. He's fidgeting with his ears nervously, and I can see Lily giggling next to him, too. She's definitely reveling in the show. Fine, sure, whatever, just nowhere too busy, please. Voice cracks at the end of Lush beginning to sleep through his fur again. Eyes meet. His eyes meet and he quickly looks away from the wall, a pout in his face. It's so sorry. It's so silly and adorable, I wouldn't be able to stop myself from smiling even if I wanted to. Yes, don't worry, I know the place we can go. Come on, come on. Looks like he's about to drag the rest of us out, so we slip out from my chair as well. Lucas and Lily take more seconds to follow. I'm feeling a little unsure about leaving the topic of the diary so soon. There's still stuff I wanted to talk about, but it doesn't seem like the time for it anymore. Shouldn't stress, there's no rush, we can talk about it in class tomorrow. Okay. Finally, there's a break here. I need to go and piss in the fucking toilet. God. Shut up! I'm sweating a lot apparently. Good grief. What the fuck, mate? Oh, great, I didn't pause it again. Of course I didn't. Anyway, back to this. Falling out of my bed, I can't help but let out a long sigh. Happy sigh. My fur is still pretty damp from the shower, but I feel so overjoyed and so enveloped in warmth it doesn't matter for the moment. Cool air blows on my window and the draft feels both soothing and uncomfortable. The chill wind feels like icy fingers running along my arms and neck. Get up and close it before another gust blows in. My pajamas aren't cozy enough to outweigh my wet fur. Or beds my bed, however, something catches my attention out of the corner of my eye. Desk is the purple book I threw there last night. Curiosity wells within me again. I'll need to bring it for tomorrow anyway, and we're likely doing our project on it too. So it'll be in all our best interest for me to read it, right? The fact that I'm even having to find an excuse to read it makes the guilt in my stomach grow larger. This is someone's private property, and I shouldn't read without permission, but before I know it, though, I'm right next to the chair in front of the desk. You know, this is really... I've always had this weird fucking fantasy of, like, moving into a house and finding someone's, like, diary. Your diary is just in part of the house and reading that. Like, I don't know, it's kind of this, like, weird thing. I don't know. I'm a bizarre person, I guess. I don't fucking know. I don't know. It's strange. I guess it couldn't hurt to get a bit of a heads up on what we're gonna be working on. For my own sake and theirs. I guess so. Here goes nothing. Sitting down at the desk chair, I am struck by how uncomfortable it is. Cushion is such a thin layer, and the tail hole isn't positioned properly. Interesting. Suppose I shouldn't be surprised considering this is a student lodging, but I'll push that aside for now and focus on the diary in front of me. Holding the cover in my fingers, the reality of what this book is dawns on me. This is the diary of a girl who killed 3 people and then herself. Yeah. Yeah, that's a bit of, that's... Murderer's diary. What would I even find in here? Sick thoughts of wanting to hurt people, a motive? Maybe it'll be completely normal. Honestly, that might actually be worse. Bing! Knocked out of my stupor by a text message on my phone. It's from Lily. Boy. We all exchanged our numbers during lunch. Yo, just wanted to remind you to bring the diary tomorrow. We need it. I will. Just want to give it a read now. Cool, let me know if that is later. Honestly, it's kind of scary. It's a diary from a dead girl who killed a bunch of people. It makes me feel kind of sick. Sorry, if we're not feeling up to we can read tomorrow. Ew, yeah, just fucking type properly, you fucking idiot. No, I'll be fine. I just need to remember. It's just a book. Okay, but feel free to text me if you, or give me a call if you need someone, though. I will, thanks. It was really fun. Blah blah blah, yeah, but chuckle. Lily's really nice and he gets along with everyone. Talking to her is comforting. Even Lucas doesn't seem to lash out at her as much as the others. If you convince Lucas and Lee to come as well, I'd love to join. I'll chat to him. It's 9 so I'm gonna head to bed. Night. Good night. I'll see you in class tomorrow. A little better. I slip the phone in my pocket. No, if I keep it out, I'm just gonna feel like I'm distracting myself. Everything out of the way, I bring my focus back to the journal. It's a little bit less scary now, but it's definitely eerie. Yeah, I would imagine it's literally written by someone that took the lives of three people. That's that just instills it with this fucking sense of dread. Putting those thoughts on my mind, I opened the cover. I'm greeted by a familiar message on the inside of it. Property of Helena Lawson. Please call 202-555-0106 to return. I'm almost tempted to try calling again, even though I know the number isn't active anymore. Moving on to the next page, it's surprisingly simple. Just a normal sheet of paper with some writing on it. No doodles, no little cute stickers, no other random accessories. Gonna be honest, I have no idea what people put in their diaries. Putting that aside, I finally get around to reading. Hey, or is it Dear Diary? Do people actually do that? Well, I guess I should really be writing Dear Mom, so you're gonna be reading this. It's the only reason I'm writing this after all. Guess this diary wasn't her idea. Explains why it was so new. It's my first day moving in. Not really much to say yet. Haven't met my roommate. I guess she's moving in today. Room is nice, a little small. There isn't much space for my clothes out, though. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm actually kind of creeped out myself. Ugh. Hopefully meet your roommate soon. I hope we can get along. None of these entries are dated at all. That makes things a bit awkward. Why wouldn't you date your entries? Like, yes, let me just try to remember when this was from fucking memory. Got it. None of these entries are dated at all. That makes things a bit awkward trying to figure out when each of these take place, but I guess I have to make do. Still feels extremely uncomfortable reading from the perspective of murder. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, yeah. Especially one as normal sounding as this. So, Mom, you're not gonna believe this, but my roommate's totally cool. She got her own car and it's pink, can you believe it? We hit it off really well, too. Her name is Quit. Oh, no. That's the name that my sister chose for herself. That she, like, Quinn. I don't like. I don't like. I don't like that. She's an Arctic fox. Mercy even likes her, so that has to be a good sign. Can't wait to start school next week. Mercy chose some of the same classes as me for our general classes so we can hang and help each other. I know it's going to be a great year. Even though it's only the second entry, I feel very heavy all of a sudden. Yeah. Yeah, me too. Me too, bud. Me too. Me too. Uh, mm. I think the best way to describe how this is affecting me is it I don't know how to describe it. It's almost painful to yeah. How did someone who seems so happy and surrounded by people who liked her turn out so bad? What happened exactly? Wanting more answers, I grab my laptop off my bed and place it next to the book. I'm not going to dive too deep into the details, I just want to check a few things. Doesn't take me too long to find what I'm looking for. They were right. This was big. There were three victims and herself who died that day. 19-year-old Arctic Fox, Quinn Willow, who was her roommate. 18-year-old mouse Mercedes Hills, apparently her best friend according to her parents. 21-year-old Badger Conrad Hughes, her boyfriend. Lastly, 19-year-old leopard Helena Lawson. Her motive for killing them is that Conrad had been cheating on her with both Quinn and Mercedes. Jesus Christ. She flew into a rage and killed all of the. Okay. Police arrested Elena. She was apparently not responding to any kind of questioning, completely non responsive. When placed in herself in the night, she. Fuck. Jesus Christ. You can't just drop that. Still processing that information. I just sit back in my chair and stare at the ceiling. She really killed him for that? She seems so nice. I know I don't know her at all, but I just can't see her doing that. There is something that does catch my attention. Conrad Hughes, why I haven't seen an entry on him yet. Picking up the book, I read the rest of the entries on the page. Most are just about her buying books and preparations for classes or going out with Quinn and Mercedes. The next few pages are very similar. Just her explaining how her days have been going, only bits and pieces being really worth noting. She seems really enthusiastic about starting college. She's even taking 5 classes. I mean, I know that's not super abnormal, but I only took 4 for my first semester. All her entries are addressed to her mother, too. They seem to have a pretty close relationship. Not a father. No mention of a father yet, though. Final entry on the 5th page shows something worth noting, however. Mom, listen to this. Quinn is making me meet up with someone and I have a pretty good idea what this is about. She was always mentioning how her business management class is right next to the football field. She's gotten a bit close with a lot of them. I think she's gonna send me with a hottie. Don't worry, I'll keep you informed. Here in this diary where you can't sabotage it. It's gonna be a total lunk, I know it, so I'm not gonna let you be a prude. I'm guessing that's Conrad. Oscar mentioned the guy who died was on the football team. Gonna call you tomorrow too. I know there's some stuff we need to talk about. Of course, when you read this, that would have already happened, but it makes me feel better telling it to you here. Feels safer. That's rather ominous. When I turn the page, however, I find something wrong. Or more accurately, I find something missing. There's a jagged bit of paper in the crease, but I can see the next page is missing. That's strange about the rest of the book. My even bigger shock, the remainder of the book is littered with missing pages. Despite having half of the book remaining, the writing just ends and the page afterward is ripped out. Whatever her final entry was is gone. Flipping to the end, I can't find any other writing until the final page. The bottom of the page in Helena's handwriting. Some things are too painful to remember. The ink on this page is smudged, and I can only guess from her crying while writing. Little dots of stains across the whole page back up that theory. There's something strange about it, but I can't put my finger on exactly what. I close the book, the weight of everything a bit too much right. Same. I'm I'm really uncomfy, and I'm really uncomfortable. I yeah. Not wanting to be in my room, I shuffle over to the door into the hallway. Air is much cooler here, looking towards the end. Uh, Looking towards the end, the window is open. The night air blowing against my face is a welcome moment of respite. It's refreshing, even if it's a bit much. I lean against my door and just bask in the silence for a while. The only sound accompanying me is my breathing. I'm not sure how long it takes before I compose myself, but when I do, I check my phone for the time. It's 4:39 a.m. Jesus Christ! Jesus, how long was I reading for? I wasn't even looking at the time when I was reaching on my computer. For fuck's sake, I'm a bio at 8 a.m. Oh, Jesus. You're screwed. I shoved my way into my room, I quickly slammed my laptop closed and rushed to bed. Some things are too painful to remember. I'm standing on a ladder. I'm only a few steps off the ground, but it feels like I'm stuck. Frozen in time. Everything around me is dark for some reason. Well, except for one thing. There's one single piercing light in the distance. It's so painful to look at, it's burning, it's blurring. As I force myself to focus, it begins to become clearer. I can make something out in the distance. It's... I smack my head against my headrest as I jolt awake out of bed. Heart is racing, having issues focusing what's around me. It takes me a couple moments before I can calm down and realize there's nothing wrong. A roar screams through my head and I curl up in pain. How am I even supposed to think with this stabbing headache? The whimper, I close my eyes and slide my hand across my nightstand so I can find my phone, the screen blindingly bright when I open my eyes. 7 a.m. Fucking hell, I only got like 2 hours sleep. If anything to go back to is sleep, but I can't afford to miss classes. That would leave a bad impression on my first week. Plus, labs have mandatory attendance. Sluggish, I pull my exhausted body out of bed and force myself to get ready for class. Jesus Christ, man. I'm really uncomfortable and I hate it. I don't know if that's the intent, but if that's the intent, it really fucking worked. Cause I feel really weird. I nearly walk into the door as I push into the stairwell, barely being able to focus. My biology lab was a complete train wreck on my part. Thankfully, it was just introductory class and was mostly going over the curriculum and expectations for lab sessions. Wasn't paying the slightest attention, hoping that doesn't come back and bite me in the ass. Stuck in a small lab in the library, but my body still feels exhausted. Headache is mostly gone, replaced by a heavy blocking sensation. I just really want to go back and get some proper rest. The Wednesday session for media class is in a different building than last time. It's on the lower floors of the arts building, like the first lecture, which is in the fine arts building. I didn't even know there was a difference between arts and fine arts. There is, buddy. Is this going to be supernatural? Because I don't know, maybe it won't be, but I'm getting a vibe. I'm glad the class is at 3 p.m. or else finding this would have been a mess. Wish the campus layout wasn't so confusing. Hey, fancy running into you here. Who is it? Normally I'd be extremely startled and... Yesn't? The fuck does that mean, dude? I asked you a question. Normally I'd be extremely startled and jump, but I just don't have the energy today. Turn around to see a familiar female canine. She's a wide grin covering her face, and she seems to be radiating energy. Hey, Lily, how are you doing?
Wow, you look awful. You okay?
This is the second time someone has said that to me as I met up with them within 2 days.
That doesn't answer my question.
Fine, I just didn't sleep much last night. I was up almost all night reading and looking up stuff about Helena. It seems to have piqued her interest when she leans in closer.
Did you find out anything interesting?
Not really, they're mostly just normal diary entries about her moving in and starting university. I'm only a few pages in, though.
Damn, I was looking for some more substantial.
Sure stuff about it, though. But the pages are missing.
I guess you want to hide some entries. Let's save the rest of them with the group. Just give us all a small recap.
It's basically all there was, though.
At least you bring the diary, we can read it together then.
Yeah, it's in my laptop bag.
Okay, let's head in then.
Gunlar basically drags me from the bottom of the stairwell all the way down the corridor until we stop at one of the doors. Room 004. Apparently the floor below ground has rooms starting with 0. It's cool. I actually wonder how well I did the tired, like, voice shit there. Probably not well. Probably not well at all. Okay, where are we now? What is this place? Going inside, there's a much smaller number of students than when we were at the lecture. That's fascinating. Noticing my confusion really clears it up pretty fast.
Oh, there's actually multiple different second classes. They're run by assistant professors, not Professor Mirko. He only does the Monday lectures, even though he's our professor.
Why are there multiple different classes?
Since these are more practical-based classes, more one-on-one is needed, and that isn't really possible in a class of 250.
That makes sense.
So they're split up into one on each of the days. Each a class of 50. It's you got the Monday one, you get the practical for the main lecture. It's really awkward.
That makes sense, I guess. That makes sense. I guess I didn't really think about it that much. Though to be fair, it's hard to think at all today. Sitting at the table furthest from the front is Lee, Oscar, and Lucas. Despite sitting at the same table, they're definitely not sitting together. It's a large square table like the rest of the class. Each of them sitting on different sides, the final side being pressed against the wall. Almost feels like they're avoiding each other. Thought we were on pretty decent terms after yesterday's lunch. Then again, Lee was always distant, and Lucas wasn't really comfortable with either of those two. He even admitted to me they didn't mesh well with them. Makes sense that he'd avoid sitting next to them. Oscar is looking at us as we approach, definitely much more chipper. Hey, welcome to the party.
If these were those college parties promised, I'll be very disappointed.
They laughed together quite loudly. Thankfully, the room is filled with students chatting, so it isn't particularly attention-grabbing. Lee seems to be looking at me, a concerned look covering his face. Not enough sleep. You have no idea. How much? 2 hours? Fucking hell, kid, what were you doing? I was up all night reading the diary and doing some research. All my help. Gives me a deep sigh, but he doesn't seem upset, just concerned. Jesus, please try to get more sleep. You look like I'm about to fall and eat shit again. Lucas doesn't have as a pronounced reaction as Lee, but he still looks interested in our conversation. Or maybe he's just trying to distract himself. Can I kiss him already? Jesus. I didn't notice until now, but Lucas looks pretty bad too. A familiar bad look. It's the same one from our first lecture. What time to go to sleep?
Around 5 a.m.
His ears flick at that and he raises an eyebrow, not giving away an ounce of what he's thinking. Lee, on the other hand, sighs and runs a hand across his face. And what time did you wake up?
7.
Lee looks up and just slams something on the desk. I don't think he's angry, just extremely baffled.
Guy, he's so cute. He's so cute. This is the fucking guy. Yeah.
Lucas looks unperturbed. In fact, he seems pretty unsurprised. It's fairly late. It's about when I went to sleep. I gape at that and how wide Lee's eyes are. He's just as shocked, but Lucas clarifies, before either of us can interrupt. I don't get up at 7. It's not that bad. All my other classes are online, so I can stay home and do them later than usual. Wish I was fucking there instead of this shithole. There it is. I was thinking Lucas was acting surprisingly calm compared to the last 2 days. Lee doesn't even react, instead opting to revert back to his distant quiet mode.
So what's the sister's distance? You guys look like you're trying to stay as far away from each other as possible.
Ellie must have finished her conversation with Oscar because she suddenly talks to all of us. Didn't want to ask, but it doesn't look like Lily's in her reservations about that kind of thing. Yeah, because she's a piece of shit. She's a piece of shit that doesn't understand people, apparently. I wanted to sit next to them, but when I tried to sit next to Lucas, he told me to fuck off. Just a big laugh at that, treating it like a giant joke. And I asked the bad boy over there and just shook his head. Now I'm sitting all lonely over here. By giving some puppy dog eyes at the end, he can only hold 3 months before smirking again. I don't feel like getting groped, Smiley. Thank you! Thank you! Someone calls him out on his fucking gross ways. Thank you, Lee. How are you actually doing that nickname? He just shrugged in response, said someone else does. Listen, meathead, yesterday you practically rubbed up against Wallace. I'm good, and I'm pretty sure Lee is too. I don't like being touched. Say? Boo, you get... Fuck off. I hate you. No one reacts to that one, leaving only a poignant deadpan silence. No one playing along, he gives up that charade and turns his focus to me. He's got a mischievous look in his eye that has me worried. What about... well, she gotta give me a nickname too. What? Oh man, everyone else has it. You gotta give me one too. They point out that Lucas wasn't exactly giving him a nickname, which was insulting him. And again, Oscar doesn't seem to mind being insulted. He just finds it hilarious. That's a bad thing. That is a very bad thing. I don't know. I like Oscar. It's fitting and fun. I like calling you that. Catches him off guard for some reason. Is that a bashful expression on his face? Must be more tired than I thought. She's making me blush. I can call me Oscar. That's your name. I expected to use that anyway. You're exceedingly dense. Well, let's take our seats. Ellie seems to go into the bakery, and she leans over and whispers into my ear. Before someone says something they can't take back. So, she's suddenly unfortunately still next to my ear, leaning away from her so I lose my hearing. Managed to catch the rest of it at a reasonable level. Where do you want to sit, Wallace? Best decide fast, because it looks like class will start soon. It's not even a fucking question. I'm sitting next to fucking Lucas. Walk up to the fox. He's looking very tense. His hands clenching and unclenching, his claws running through the fur in his arms. Doing okay? Doesn't raise his head, his eyes drilling holes into the table. Yeah, fine. Wish I wasn't here. Yeah, I know. I thought you could use the company. So you need to treat you up on Monday. This time he does raise his head. His eyes are soft, lacking that sharp edge when I ran into him the first time. Yeah, I'd appreciate that. Speaks with a quiet voice. It's barely above a whisper. Looking him over, I can see just how uncomfortable he is. His eyes are always looking down or directly at one of us, like he's trying not to see the rest of the class. Body's very tense, even though it looks like he's trying to hide it. Not just his hands, but everything. His legs are pressing firmly against the ground, and his ears or tail aren't moving at all. You want to try talk to the professor? They definitely let you out if they realize that being in the school upsets you. Shakes up. It's barely emotion at all. It's really sad seeing him so demure. It's like this place sucks the energy out of him. No, that'll be unfair to anybody else. Plus, I still need to pop my grade too. Sure, you don't seem very okay. But more contained than normal. Yeah, I'm trying not to get upset and snap at everyone. No, they aren't bad people, they don't deserve it. But we all understand we ain't anything bad by it, but if it makes you feel bad. Stop, I don't like being like this. I just want to do this class and get out. Can't we just do that? Sorry. Don't think you should be that hard on yourself. Can't say that though. If he wants to change, who am I to stop him? Gives me that sad smile again, pulling out the chair next to him. Please don't be. You're trying, and that's confident enough. As soon as I sit in his offered chair, a lot of tension releases from his body. I'm still not comfortable, but he already looks better than when I first walked in. God, that's so fucking cute. God. His tail is looking around behind him, bursting to life. It really does show off his mood well. Dead still when he's upset, but overactive when he's happy. Not perfect, but that does mean his mood's improved at least. If me being here helps, then that's all I can ask for. Okay, students, quiet down. Goes silent almost instantly, everyone turning to face the professor. Bit awkward looks in my line of sight, so I try to lean back to see behind him. Think he notices since he leans forward on the table, letting me see over him. Arms are crossed over his head and with his chin resting on them. Looks back with a smile for a second, his tail flicking. There's a life to him that I'd never have seen if I didn't try to get to know him. I'll pass the shining sheet around, then we'll get started. I'm barely able to pay attention, my eyes straining to focus on the professor. My short nap definitely wasn't enough. At least we're finally discussing things within our groups. I think I could focus on the professor for a moment longer. Lily's regurgitating what I told her earlier, but it sounds like white noise to me. Feel something brush on my back and arm my spine instinctively, nearly bumping the table in the process. Looking behind me, I can see it's a foxtail. Oh my god! Holy shit, that's fucking... That is amazing artwork! Holy fuck! He's so pretty. Lucas was trying to get my attention. The look on his face is anxious and his eyes are full of worry. He's still leaning on the desk, his head resting on his arms. He does turn his head so he can speak to me easier. If you sit like this, you can hide it easier if you fall asleep. No, it's fine, I'd rather stay up. Ponders that for a while, his lips pursing. His eyes begin to look distant and he stares at the table. Eventually they flick back up to me and he gives his response. I'd feel much more comfortable if you do this with me. It's awkward to talk to you when you're sitting up and I prefer seeing as little of this place as possible. I know he's trying to force me to get in a position where I can rest, but he's asking for help. I can't turn him down. Silently down next to him, my scrawny arms aren't exactly the best for resting on. That's a mood. It's like trying to rest on tree branches or twigs. Exactly. He noticed my discomfort and does something I never would have assumed someone who gets shy at the drop of attention would do. Tail comes between my arms through the gap created up my chest and the table. Lies softly on my arm, and I can't help but stare at him. Flesh is visible through his fur, and he has a God, he's so fucking... He's so fucking cute. Bloodhead, he's back with a smile on his face. It's really cute for someone so aggressive. Tail's really soft. My parents tell me about the time when they pet it. His wife realizes I'm a bit personal, so that doesn't let that stop him. His blush and the color of his inner ear just go a deeply shaded. Oh my god, he's so fucking cute. Rest shade on it, it'll be a good pillow. My own bashful nod, no real words coming into my thoughts. I rest my chin onto his tail. It really is soft, softer than the pillow I put my head on. There's no more talking between us, but his smile and flicking tip of his tail are showing us in a much better mood. Seems to have calmed down a lot with me next to him. He's so cute. Time passes by slowly. The chatter around me is muffling into an indecipherable collection of noises. I want to go home and pass out as soon as possible. Barely any time must have passed, though, since Uli hasn't asked for my input of the diary yet. At a blissful end of class, my phone buzzes against my leg. I don't remember setting it to vibrate. I must have done it without thinking. Pull in my pocket, it's a text. My eyes can't focus on the name. Opening the message, it displays only 2 words and the name of the sender. I'm sorry from Who's Marcus? I feel nauseous. It's as if a bucket of ice-cold water had been dumped on me. Who the fuck is Marcus? All my fur bristles, and I'm suddenly very aware and uncomfortable with where I am. I can't be here. I need to leave now. Panic begins to surge in me, and I stand up, almost knocking over the chair as I do. Wait, Wallace, was I making you uncomfortable? Don't stop to say anything, I just keep heading towards the exit. Where are you going, Wallace? What the fuck is this? I shoved the door open, nearly slamming it with how much of a hurry I'm in, but I can't even bring myself to give a shit about that. Or I know it, I'm right in front of the stairwell. Everything is so surreal right now. Feels like reality is collapsing around me. Like it's trying to crush me into paste, not wanting to spend another second here. I take the first step before I'm interrupted by my phone again. Open it up and instantly greeted by that same message. I'm sorry. Suddenly there's a cracking sound. My phone lays broken in half on the ground, screen completely black, and disembodied from my... What? I claws dig into my hand. I'm clutching them so hard I almost stab myself. My breathing is deep and heavy, panting like I've run a marathon. Turning away again, I run up 5 more steps before a horrific noise catches my attention once again. It's my ringtone, except there's something very, very wrong. The noise is stretching out, destroying itself beyond recognition into something sinister. It's painful and grotesque. I don't turn around, though. I can't move at all. Is noise happening? Because I can't hear. Oh my god, almost 2 hours. Jesus. I can't move at all. That's when something more horrific happens. The stairs in front of me are changing. They stretch upwards. No, that's wrong. It's like they're gaining more steps, getting higher and higher. What the fuck? As it grows taller, it curves around into a spiral. I still can't move. It's like I'm being held in place by an impossible force. Not only that, but the stairs' material change. Even the ones below me are shifting, changing from lino to wood. It doesn't just change, but ropes appear to be wrapping around each plank. They are definitely planks now. I can see the floor and the gaps between the stairs. Even the handrail I'm clutching onto has a rope now twisted around it. I don't understand what's happening. I don't either, buddy. I don't either. It keeps twisting and growing until I'm just looking straight up at the now spiral staircase. I can't even see the top. Turning around, I go to head back inside the classroom before noticing that the door is now missing. The wall is instead smooth, with no indication there ever was a door to begin with. That awful sensation increases, like the world is actively mocking me. Am I hallucinating? Have I finally lost my mind? Just as I thought things couldn't get more horrific, my eyes are drawn to the ground. My phone is still sitting there, but only for a second. Then the ground underneath it falls. There's no other way to describe it. It just falls away, drops into some kind of black void. And the hole grows too until the entire floor is broken away. Now the only place to stand is on the stairs. Gripping onto the handrail tightly, my legs are trembling, tears roll my eyes. What's going on? Hello, can anyone hear me? There's no response at all. Lucas, anyone? I'm alone, but I'm not allowed to wallow in my stupor for long as a new noise fills my ears. The sound of wood breaking. Looking down once again, I see Moon on the bottom step. The bottom step is cracking before my eyes. It breaks away and drops into the abyss below. Panic resurfaces to the forefront of my brain and I'm already moving. The sound of the heavy steps echoes out into the darkness as I bolt up the stairs. That awful sound of wood snapping continues, much faster and louder this time. I don't look back, it's catching up on me. I can't afford to slow down. I'm past what would be the top of the building. The walls have stopped running alongside the stairs. The world is just dark and it's hopelessly empty. Only thing that I can see are the stairs ahead of me, and all I can hear are my footsteps and the cracking behind me. Said cracking is getting closer and closer. I'm feeling well beyond my breath already. Beyond out of breath already. My legs are screaming and I feel like I'd pass out any second. Crack is right behind me now. I won't be much longer till... I don't even want to think about that. Just a bit above me I can make out a dark mass in the top of the stairs. I must be close to wherever this leads. Heart feels like it's gonna burst out of my chest, both from fear and exhaustion. Now I haven't paid attention to what's in front of me anymore, I'm just running. My foot goes to lift up, the plank below it cracks and falls, and I'm suddenly lurched forward. Instead of falling against the wooden planks or into the deep abyss, I'm hit solid ground. Can't move for a while, I can only lie there in exhaustion. My body is extremely sore, a prickling sensation stabs throughout my entire body. Feels like I can't breathe, each gasp only giving me so much air. But what feels like hours of just panting on the ground, I can finally move again. Rest my body back to my feet, my legs still feeling a bit wobbly but aren't aching much anymore, despite my rest likely only being a few minutes. Okay. Looking around, my sensations are familiar but warped. Surroundings, whatever. It's the same hallway I just came from to get into the stairwell, except now the floors and walls are covered what looks like rope and the floors are made out of wood. Walking through the corridor, I can't help but want to scream. I wish I knew what was happening. So do I, buddy. If it was a hallucination, surely something would have happened to me by now. I would have walked into a wall or something. Voice echoes around me and nearly startles me into sprinting away again. Wallace? It's a pained whine, and that somber, high-pitched voice is familiar. It's Lucas. Voice sounded strained, like he was in pain. What's happening? I can really process what I'm hearing. My surroundings shift again. changes to what looks like a school, more specifically a corridor filled with lockers. Just as quickly it changed the first time it shifts back. Lucas, are you there? What's wrong? Yell with all my strength, my throat feeling hoarse from all the breathing, and when no response happens, I have to hold back the growing feeling of panic welling on my chest. It doesn't like happen if I stay around here. I gotta keep moving. For too long, I spot something in the distance. A door. Running up to it, there's a room number clear written across the top. Room 004, the same room I just came from. Underneath it is smaller writing. It's rough, like it's been scratched into the metal. Come inside. There's an awful feeling in my chest, hinting this will be a very big mistake. Calming my nerves, I pull down the handle, slowly opening the door. Loud squeaking of the door only adds to the dread in the air. The room is dark, but there's enough light from the hallway coming in to let me see what's inside. The entire middle of the room is missing. There's just a walkway going around the perimeter of it. Well, the entire center isn't missing, and the middle of the room is a platform raised higher than the rest of the room. In closer inspection, it's actually multiple platforms stacked on top of each other. They're all connected to the same support beam behind. Is this fucking noose? Looks like there's 10 platforms in total in the pile. Top of the highest platform is a horror unlike anything I've ever seen. Person stands there with their arms tied behind their back. Their feet are tied together as well. I can't see their tail. I can't even see their tail behind them. Most horrific part is that over their head is what looks like a potato sack. Fucking... Fuck. And what looks like a noose around their neck. A noose around their neck. It's a cow. My blood turns to complete ice, and my body moved more able to think. I entered the room with a moment's hesitation. Oh my god, holy fuck, you okay? Can you hear me? Only response I get is a panicked, muffled sound. They must be gagged. Sound of gears turning begins to fill the room. I'm not sure what's happening. I can tell it's bad. Run around the entire perimeter of the room, but there's no platform connecting directly to the center. What I do find is a folded down platform on the back of the center support beam that must connect to the back part of the walkway when lifted. As I investigate, a loud snapping sound startles me and I almost lose my footing. When I run back around to where I started, I see the platform at the bottom of the gallows is folded. Oh my god, this is a full-on Danganronpa execution. Jesus. The sound of the gears starts up again. It's only now that I realize that they ended when the snapping noise happened. Must be rigged to drop the platforms one at a time. Oh shit. Whoever's on the top platform is hysteric now. They're thrashing in their bodies with no avail. I'll get you down, I swear! Now that I have my focus away from the center, I know something on the ground at the edge of the walkway in front of the door. It's a little box with a keyhole and some writing across the top. Emergency stop. Can you save them, Wall? Fuck this! A sense of dread fills my chest. I have to ignore it for now, even if it is talking to me directly. This must be the way to stop the platforms from falling. It has to be. The key isn't anywhere around here. Where the fuck is it? That awful snapping sound happens again. I see another platform is dropped. There's only 8 left. It seems like one drops every minute if I had to guess. Jesus fucking Christ. What kind of Danganronpa bullshit is this? Seriously. I'm fucking disturbed. Just empty room. Quickly, I rush out of the hall and run further out of the room and run further down the hall, vehemently on the lookout for anything out of place. Something that might be a key or contain one. Anything. Sound of the platforms snapping again makes me run as fast as I can, almost tripping. As I bolt down the hall. What? Fuck.
This has those fucking vibes.
I begin to burn again, but I ignore them. I feel like I've ran more today than I've ran in my entire life. I've never pumped this hard or fast before. I'm about to lose all hope when I see something in the distance. It's another door. Almost slamming into it, I grab the door handle and yank it open. As it opens, I catch a glimpse of the plaque across the top. Maintenance closet. There's also some smaller writing below it. It's another awful message directed at me. Will you let him die, Wally? This is very directive. There is something. Okay. Rush into the door from Rita Bayero, leaving sight. A key. Sitting on a table near the far wall. I'm about to step inside when I register the rest of the room. It's completely floorless, save for a section where the table sits and one long plank that connects that to the door. The plank looks to be in a bad state. It's decaying and about to fall apart. Wouldn't be surprised if it broke any second on its own, let alone if I'm walking on it. The length of the room is longer than my dorm's bedroom. But I can't just leave them to hang. I've got to save them. I need to save them. I don't have time to think this out. No matter what, I refuse to be too slow. How should I approach this? God, fuck. 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 I can't afford to waste time. If I go slow, I might make it across more safely, but that might take too long. That person will get... No, I refuse to let that happen. Won't let that happen. With a final reassuring breath, I basically skip onto that platform. My right foot hits the wood hard, and I immediately push off of it, throwing myself forward before I lose momentum. My right foot lifts, a cracking sound rings throughout the room. Don't have time to look back, and I just force myself across the rest of the way. The tension in the air is stronger than anything else. I swear I can hear the blood rushing in my ears. After I take another launching step, my knee almost buckles under me. Jesus, my legs are absolutely burning. I didn't think about how much I ran. Don't think they'll collapse. The impact just caught me off guard. My long leaps, 3 steps already takes me halfway. I almost lose my balance, but I manage to throw myself forward enough to take the final step before landing. Crashing onto the platform, I land awkwardly on my side. Fear of breaking something surges through me just like the pain. Turn my back, testing my arm movements around, and flex my fingers. It seems everything is intact despite the pain. Lying there for several seconds, I'm forced back to reality, open the gravity, by an echoing snap sound from down the hall. Shit! Gorilla walking this wouldn't tire me completely. Forget I was doing this in the first place. My heart was throbbing in my ears the entire run across. I don't know how many I missed. Grabbing the key, I don't even bother to look at as I shove it in my shirt pocket. Looking back at the plank, I see the source of that cracking noise from earlier. Near the end of the door, a long stride away from her, there's a horizontal split across the wood, and it's dented down slightly. It's gonna be a problem. Don't have time to think about it, though, as I force myself to take the first step back. My foot hits the plank, and it slips, and I'm forced to slam my hand down on the wood to stop myself from falling. Didn't realize how slippery this was. Worried I might have doomed myself with that crash, but it only caused the plank to bend downwards more. That's still a terrifying sight, though. I wanted to keep my weight on it much longer. I forced myself to stand up and take another step. A few more steps later, and the crack is close enough that I can no longer ignore it. The entire plank is groaning, and I think I can hear it splinting across the whole thing. Just need to go for it before it breaks apart. Thrusting all momentum forward, I take a step just past the crack and throw my body forward. Once after my foot touches the wood, the crack breaks apart, causing the entire plank on myself to drop. The ball, and I reach out for what I can in front of me. I'm trying to grasp anything I can grab my arms on. Slow, agonizing seconds pass until I feel the bottom of the doorway slam into my stomach. Wheeze loudly, managed to throw one of my hands through to grab the side of the door frame. Grateful how thin I am, I was able to pull myself up. My entire body wiggled like a worm to make some ground. I'm in the painful crawl, and able to hoist myself up, able to hoist up the rest of my body to the door. I'm coughing loudly and I'm gonna broken a rib, but it doesn't feel like I caused any significant damage. Just a dull ache. I hope that's not just the adrenaline. It takes me a couple of attempts before I'm able to stand, my legs trembling but holding strong. The little surge of panic fills me as I check my pocket. The key is still in there, little blessings. The snapping sound echoes down the hall, forces me back into top gear as I bolt down the hall again, sprinting at full speed down this empty hallway on the lookout for the door of the gallows. Was it this long before? Wasn't really paying attention to how far I went when I first came down here. The painful, searing sensation rises in my thighs, and I know I gotta get there soon. In the distance, I can finally see the door. At first, I slow down right before remembering how urgent the situation is. I slam into the door roughly. A groan pushes through my body, and I feel some wind leave my lungs. Opening the door, I fall inside just in time to see another platform drop down. There's only 4 platforms left. I run over the box, pulling the key as I do. In a rush, I fumble the key, and it clangs across the ground. It's like my entire world falls apart, but due to some miracle, the key manages to stay in the wooden walkway. Throwing my entire body down, I grab the key and hover just a few inches away from the keyhole. My eyes notice something on the key, and I lift it up to my face. It's writing etched into the top. If he dies, it's all your fault, Wally. It's mocking me. Teeth grin, I push on my mind. I have to focus on getting this person out. It takes me a few attempts, but I finally push the key in and turn it. As soon as I feel the lock clicking into place, the mechanical sounds of gears turning dies down. The struggle and panic from overstrung up there quiets down with it. I seem to understand it's stopping too. There's a flooding feeling of relief surging through me. Can't believe I did it. Running across that plank almost killed me twice, but I'm glad I did it. Though I rushed my way across the entire thing, I still only had 4 platforms remaining. If I can at least double that time, I make it across if I had taken my time. My pride, dulling the ache in my body, able to get back to my feet with little struggle. The sound of gears turning catches my attention. It's much quieter than the previous one. As I walk around the room, the platform behind the support beam in the center of the room rises. The moment it locks into place, I'm crossing towards the middle. This platform is thicker than the plank, and after that, it's hard to still feel scared, like I'm all out of terror. Midway next to the hooded figure, they don't seem to be struggling much at all now. I guess he's completely out of fear too. I know I would be. Hey, I got you. You're safe now. There's not even a muttering response, but I can hear him breathing. My attempts on doing the knot at the back of the noose are pretty unsuccessful. Having one so close to making me feel, having one so close to one is making me feel nauseous, much more so than the walk of death earlier. Giving up, I notice the sack covering their faces and actually the noose, so I just take it off. Taking the sack off, don't freak out, okay? Again, there's no response. It's an eerie feeling again, but I shouldn't let myself panic. That only cause things to get much worse. Pull off the sack, and I'm met with a sight that shatters me. It's a fox. Specifically a scrawny cross fox. His auburn eyes and glasses immediately tell me who he is, though. It's Lucas. Except he looks completely messed up. Dire face looks completely bashed in. If it wasn't for his broken glasses and eye color, I might not have recognized him. Blood is completely dripping from his face, and it's a horrific sight. Across his face is a morphed smile. It's not the cute, timid smile he normally has. This one is much more unnatural. It doesn't reach his eyes. They're hollow and dark. It's not the only thing that's out of place. Ringing in my ears is that awful snapping sound. The sensation of being on the ground leaves me, and I feel myself drop for only a second before it registers that there's nothing underneath me anymore. There's no time to really think, and my arms instinctively wrap around his waist. A groan leaves my mouth, and my head smacks into the fox's stomach. There's a sickening crack above me, and I can't help but stare up. Lucas's head is bent up at an uncomfortably awkward angle, and there's no way he's survived. but he's looking down at me with bulging eyes, that smile never leaving his face. It's so uncanny that it's seared into my brain. That wasn't enough, his entire body starts rapidly rotting. Before I can even make a sound, his entire fur and skin are gone. Even less time before it's just bone. His hollow, empty eye sockets are staring deep into me, and in that final moment I know this is truly hell. Bones and all his clothing disintegrate into dust, and I'm falling. Not able to make any sounds. Shock has completely crippled my body. For long I'm completely surrounded by the darkness, falling eternally into the empty void. I'm sorry. I made it in time, but still wasn't enough. Holy fucking shit. Um, so on that note, I'm gonna do a cliffhanger on you. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Uh, fuck. So, yeah, this guy, infinitely more intriguing. Very fast. Holy shit, man. So now we not only have the murder mystery, but whatever the fuck that was. Uh, characters are great. The fucking there's a lot of really good writing here. They ask questions they should ask. They all seem to act intelligently, and they're all really distinct and stuff. Um, I need to fucking like process that because that's a lot. I'll see you later, I guess. Bye.